This episode is going to be really important if you have any interest in Chat GPT, making your life much more productive as a content creator. So if you're a YouTuber, a podcaster, a writer, blogger, social media strategist even, check this out. So one, I'm going to talk about the downside of Chat GPT. And this is something that if you're not aware of and how to mitigate this problem as a content creator, when you put your stuff out there, it can dramatically impact your SEO. Number two, how you can improve this and help yourself rank in your SEO. So super important. You don't want to miss this. Three, I have a mystery tool. This is a tool that I just learned about that I think kicks ass. I will know more about it in the future, but I think it's worth mentioning in this video as well, because it relates to the number one problem with ChatGPT. So stay tuned and on with the show. Oh my gosh, between my kids, myself, medical stuff, this year's been nuts. Just had a child land back in the hospital again for 9 whole days. What do you do as a single parent of 2 children still in school, other parent gone on a trip to Hawaii in the middle of all this, left child in hospital? What do? You try to figure out how to run your business and how to get stuff done with tools and automation, and artificial intelligence, AI, is definitely an option. I know people feel all kinds of different ways about it, and I get it. I don't want the robots to take over the world. Some of these tools are awesome, but what they generate is pretty poor. But if it's based on human language, it can change everything. There are 2 tools that have really helped me, and now there's a third one that's not in the title of all this, but I will mention. My whole point is that stuff comes up in our lives. We want to shave time off all of the stuff that we're doing. I don't know about you, but I would much rather relax and know that the content I created is out there, it's done, I feel good about it, instead of slaving hours and hours over it, trying to get it right. So these 2 things together can save you a ton of time. Chat GPT, which is free for however many uses, and I've been trying different things, and I want to share it here because there are some things that it can really help you with to save you a ton of time. And writing is tough, especially with distractions. If you're a mom, your toddler's doing something, your kids need help with their homework, your husband comes home, whatever, a phone call comes in, your clients need you got to be able to stop and then start again. And writing, it's really tough when you come out of flow. Chat GPT, but it's basically an AI tool, artificial intelligence. It has a natural language foundation. It's a natural language model. And I'm cheating here. Yes, I'm using my cheat sheet. And it basically generates human-like text. But what it's generating is so robotic that it's not even really human-like. I recently found someone, her name is Julia McCoy. She is the head of Content Hacker. And she had a writing company where she had writers who she trained and farmed out with all the expertise and knowledge and how to grow rapidly using content strategy, SEO, all the things. They didn't just write to write. They wrote with lots of depth, lots of perspective. That's a human perspective with voice, with humor sometimes, or expertise, depending on who their client was, right? So I found her. I signed up for one of her courses because I wanted to strengthen my writing. But people like Julia, who are really experienced with SEO and things like that, would say and argue, and rightly so, that what it's generating is so robotic that it's not even really human. And yes, you can create a ton of content, but it's not going to get through the new filters that Google has. So if you think you can, kind of cheat your way and use Chat GPT to create blog posts without putting your spin on it and editing it with human hands and human perspective and human story and human voice, it's not really going to work very well for you. It'll get flagged and it won't rank the way the other things will. And I'll show you some of her video on that.
To actually check your content, because you want to do that. You want to run it through an AI detector tool, and Content at Scale has one for free. So if I had Chat GPT content, which I probably don't, I'm going to guess the app is down, right? Ever since it went to $47 a month. But if I can get some content from it and run it through the detector, you'll see a score that appears, and it's usually 0% human. If you have content, like let's say you're working with a writer, right? And you're like, I don't know if this writer is using an AI or not. Use these tools, like start using these tools in your process. You can even give these tools to your editor and say, hey, run content through this each time. So we can prove to our clients that yes, this is 100% human. Like you can screenshot this score, like include it in your service deliverables. We are making sure our content is 100% human. So that's a big thing right now, right? Is the AI watermarking coming on the scene. Like that's going to change the game. It's going to make all the sites riddled with content straight from Chat GPT. They're going to tank. They're going to go to the bottom and it's not going to be pretty. It's going to level out the playing field again. But if your content is written by a tool like Content at Scale, which I'm going to show you in a minute, it's undetectable.
So what we can do though, and I did a lot of tests this week and I'll show you what's cool, is I use another tool called Descript, which is similar in that it's using a natural language base to take your audio, your video, and make it into a transcript. It's actually an audio video editing and transcript creation tool. It does a ton, and I will do a video for you, tutorials on how I use it. But for now, let's just say this is the thing that I create my transcripts with. So if you put your video, your audio into Descript, and then you run some of the cool filters that save you a ton of time. The number one filters that I like takes out huge gaps. You know, sometimes you have like the brain fart or post-concussion syndrome. I literally forget words, just don't know the names of things, blank on things. Sometimes there are giant gaps and I don't want that in my video. So I can rip out all the spaces. That's awesome. Number two is I can get rid of certain words like, so then, but, you know, all those little filler words we use when we can't get our thoughts together, or it's habit. I use the word like a ton. I use so a ton. It can strip out the ones that don't make sense. It can strip out repetitive words. So you run that filter. And by the way, you can choose which ones you want to take out. Sometimes I don't want to take out some of the things they consider filler words because I feel like those are the things that link sentences and make it feel more human. So leave some of them in. I do that first. And then you cut and paste your transcript into Chat GPT and then you give it instructions. And my instructions in this case were, I was thinking about tweets. I was like, how can I create some tweets? So I said, create a series of tweets that pull out these specific things. And what it did was it took my language in my words and pulled out the specific things that I wanted it to. Then I took those final tweets, which I could obviously tweak them if I want to, but what I wanted to see is, what if I don't have time to tweak them? So I copy pasted them into Content at Scale, and I'll mention more about that in a minute. Content at Scale has its own artificial intelligence, like robot filter checker to see, is it more human or is it more like fake robot-y? I pasted it in there, the series of tweets. They all were marked as human, 100% human. So even though I asked it to take my transcript and make it into something, it could have pulled stuff from the internet, from Google, from searches and things, and made it very dry and kind of robotic, but it kept my language, my natural language. So they passed this, fake robot test, which is awesome. You can do the same thing where you can take your transcript from your podcast, your Facebook Live, your video for YouTube, and you can say, create a however many words. I think 500 words is actually the limitation with Chat GPT. Create a blog post using this transcript and make it about this, and this. Like whatever the angle is that you want to pull out from the podcast, YouTube Live, whatever it is that you're using as the foundation for Chat GPT, right? Because it's basing it on natural language, it's going to turn out way better. I'm not saying that you don't potentially need to tweak it, put in your voice, put in images, titles, a little bit of story or something that's missing, but it's going to be that much better than if you just ask ChatGPT to write a blog about why podcasting is awesome for moms who don't have a lot of time, right? It's just going to be that much better. And so I wanted to show you here what Descript looks like, and I will dive into that tool much deeper because there's so many things that it does. The number one thing is if you're somebody who is on YouTube or you have a podcast, you've been a guest on podcasts, you do Facebook Lives or whatever it is you do, and you want to take that content and you want to chop it up into something smaller like stories or reels or a blog post or pull quotes, you can use Chat GPT and say, hey, here's my transcript from whatever the thing is you did. Maybe you just sat in your car. I do this when I'm driving sometimes, and you talked on your voice recorder and recorded an idea. Then you pulled it into Descript or wherever. You got the transcript. I like Descript because it helps you edit out all those things I mentioned. So you pull it into there, you generate a clean transcript, then you copy paste it into Chat GPT and you say, do the things, make a series of pull quotes that I can use for graphics and social media. Generate a blog post, generate an article. It's really up to you. It's all about writing, and you don't have time to write. So some of these tools are awesome, but what they generate is pretty poor. But if it's based on human language, it can change everything. So I did this. It saved me a ton of time. I'm excited because I've used Chat GPT a tiny bit, and I've kind of laughed at some of it because it's very, again, I'm taking Julia's course. She makes fun of the filler words we use furthermore. And so that, like all these long, she calls them sticky words. And shout out to Julia. I hired her for consulting with me for an hour with my business, with my 2 brands. I mean, that hour was gold, I swear to God. And I never would have done it if I hadn't taken her course. I'm so impressed by all that she's done. Her company, Content Hacker, has a spinoff, and they actually create websites for people. So she knows a ton about that as well. So I was asking her about my website and my voice and my messaging. And then I showed her one of my affiliate pages with resources, and I was kind of apologizing. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I have Jasper on there. And, Jasper is another tool that creates blog posts and things like that. And I actually have used it happily over the last year for certain things, but I have never upgraded to use the blogging portion because to me, I just didn't think it was good enough. It seemed overpriced, all the things. So after my meeting with Julia, my paid meeting where she mentored me, and I asked her to be a guest, so I'm sure she'll be on at some point. She said something in that time when I was with her where she said, oh, and she just slipped it in. She's like, oh yeah, and I just found something that's cut my time down with articles to 30%. And I was like, and it was right after I apologized for this other tool. And because I paid her and I was trying to just get through it, I didn't really ask her what it was, but that kind of seed stuck in my brain. And then she sent a message. We had a little back and forth, and then I'm on her list, and she sent this announcement where she has finally found a tool because she was down on AI. She's like, it is not passing. It wouldn't work for any of my big clients. And she's had some pretty big brands that have used her other company that she founded at age 19 and then sold 10 years later for millions. So she was saying in this email that she sent out, hey, I found an AI tool that actually does the writing that a writer could do. And she's super impressed, and so impressed that she actually took a position with this company, which is amazing. Because I literally, I don't know, I can't even go into it, but every time I've thought, oh, well, I like this about AI, I like that. Like there are some good things about AI. And I thought she was just like, AI stinks. And then in days, I found this announcement where she had found this other company that really is impressive. So mentioning it to you here, I'm going to explore it. I'll share my test here. But that other tool, just so you know, is called Content at Scale.ai. Content at Scale. And if you're looking for a tool, whether you're an agency, a solopreneur, and you really want to have a brand that blogs and gets you SEO, just like the way I say podcasting does, blogging, if you do it right, with a voice and a perspective, can really help you gain authority. It can be that thing that generates leads and attracts people into you without you paying for ads and all the things. And this tool can create amazing blog posts and things like that with SEO baked in. It's part of the tool. It really has saved her a lot of time. I just saw her video and it's super impressive. So if you've been down on AI, if you've heard people say bad things about it, or you're just intrigued because Chat GPT has just been talked about so much in the last couple of weeks and people are just talking about it everywhere. check out Content at Scale. Definitely consider using tools, leveraging them in a way that will save you time, but don't just rely on the tools. That's why I'm saying take your content in your voice, your interviews, whatever, get a transcript, and then run the transcript through once it's edited to get it clean, and then try to generate content from that. I'm really impressed at how much time I've saved. And my goal is to save you mamas and women time. Like this, we need shortcuts. Like we have all this motivation. We have the gifts, the skills, the knowledge. We're driven, we have ambition. We want to do these things, but sometimes life gets in the way. Kids, we want our kids to come first. I mean, having a kid in the hospital for 9 days, I can't tell you, like, I slept there for 3 days. I couldn't spend enough time there with her. She had a great roommate the first, I think, 4 or 5 days. And then she got isolated because she got a stomach bug. And oh my goodness, what happened those last 4 or 5 days was hell. Some kid next door, she was at Boston Children's. This kid next door had police outside. I don't know the whole story, but he was pounding on the walls and screaming, and she was trying to get better. So I just wanted to be there with her as much as I could. My parents are deceased. I tried to lean on my friends to help. My other daughter came with me and got to spend time. So we're trying to play cards, and there's a kid screaming, and there are police outside, and we're just like laughing at how ridiculous the whole situation is. But like, that is life. We're just trying to get through and trying to have a sense of humor and trying to stay sane, stay healthy, get things done, not throw in the towel, not feel defeated. And these tools are everything because they can give us our life back. They can help us still accomplish all these things that we want to accomplish. Be there, truly be there for our family, for our friends, and for ourselves. Self-care is essential when you have all these things that are going on. I had somebody hit my car in the valet parking at the hospital. So I had this insurance claim to put through. I can't tell you how many things happened in the last week and a half, but I'm okay. I'm not knocked down. I'm like, I'm going to use these tools. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to find a way to get it done. And you can too. And so I'm super excited about Chat GPT along with Descript, also Content at Scale. I will come back and tell you all about that. And hopefully Julia will let me interview her about her story, which is amazing. She's also a mama, just had a baby. I think her daughter is under a year old. She became VP of Content Strategy at Content at Scale, which is the AI tool. She has something called AIO, which is Artificial Intelligence Optimization for Writers, the AIO process. I saw a quote from her after I just decided to look this up so I don't look so clueless. AIO is the new equivalent of SEO in terms of importance, which I thought was really interesting. And I think that that's the case. We have to just embrace the fact that these tools are something that we can either compete with or leverage and make them bend to our will, right? Because this is artificial intelligence. It's not another human. And it's not to say that it's better than a human. I'm sure there are things that are way faster. That's kind of the point. But there is this human element that's missing. And I think that if you combine the two together, and she's going to have a ton to say about that because it's basically what she's doing, which I'm really, really happy because, as I said before, I was like, damn, why is she so down on this AI? Because I think if we get it right, it can really, really help us. So I'm super stoked that she made this announcement, that she's embracing it and that she's condoning it. And so as a writer, you can learn your writing skills, you can learn this AIO process and learn to optimize artificial intelligence. What I showed you today is not necessarily a part of what she teaches. This is just something I did and I was impressed. And I think that we need to take our own language and our transcripts from, again, podcasting, podcast guesting, all of these Facebook Lives and teachings and trainings and things that we give and make them into more, because there's so much gold in that. And I've been preaching that for years. I just feel like that gold gets buried and we move on to the next thing and we leave all of it behind when it could just be the thing that we craft many, many other things from instead of starting from scratch every time. So that's why I made this. If you want to go check her out, look in the notes below, look in the show notes, look in the first comment of my YouTube, and there'll be some links in there. I am an affiliate for Descript. I am not an affiliate for Content at Scale yet, but I probably will be. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, and I would love to hear your thoughts. I hope this was helpful in some way. If you have any questions about anything that I've talked about here, please do leave some comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.